Still looking at me.
What's up, mighty gang? How's it going? It's the multitasker, and welcome back again to another reaction video. I'm okay. Let's just say that earlier today was rough. So it's just really been short-handed, and it's just it was just too much to handle. But I'm still standing. At least that it's over, but I got a couple days with my shift going on until the weekends. So I guess that's just how my schedule is going to be. So in the meantime, I'll do my best to try to stay positive and try to keep in mind and that it's just work. It's work, but more importantly, I'm going to try my best to relax, and not to mention a lot of catching up going on as well, especially with God of High School, Dragon Ball Z Abridged movies that will happen, not to mention Cell Versus. So I will do what I can one at a time. In the meantime, I got a new request from Shadow, and looks like I'm going to be reacting to the title called 10 Children of WWE Wrestlers Who Stayed Away from Wrestling. And you know, it is a kind of a good set of metaphor that, you know, as a parent and being as a professional, that sometimes you get the feeling that you're not ready to let your kids to follow your footsteps, because even though it's just an entertainment show, but it still hurts like hell when it comes to doing all crazy shits, from doing a backflip, jumping off the ring, or get hit by a Tenko stick, or get hit by a steel chair, because it still hurts like a bitch. So let's go ahead and check this out, and without further ado, it's time to react.
The winner of the match.
Aww.
Now, it's rather common for children
cute,
of wrestlers to follow in their fathers' or even mother's shoes and go into the world of professional wrestling. Some say it's in the blood, and the desire to become a pro wrestler is genetic. Names such as The Rock, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Charlotte Flair all had legendary fathers that became household names in the wrestling industry. Now, the wrestling business isn't for the faint-hearted, and it's truly a profession that you have to dedicate your entire existence to. Several wrestlers have attempted to follow in their parents' footsteps, but have failed. The expectations of living up to their name are sometimes simply impossible to achieve.
David Flair! Oh, David Flair's got to believe it. He's climbing a huge
Charlotte's brother.
Names such as David Flair, Ted DiBiase Jr., and Jake Carter all experienced this. It's sometimes easier for the children of famous wrestlers to go down different avenues with their careers. But which next generation stayed away from wrestling entirely? Well, join us now as WrestleMania looks at 10 children of WWE wrestlers who decided to stay away from the wrestling business as far as possible. Number 1. Kevin Nash's son. Kevin Nash's son, Tristan Nash, is only 23 years old and has never possessed the interest in getting involved in professional wrestling, this despite his father being one of the most successful wrestlers of all time. Now, most fans will know Tristan from when he was involved in a domestic abuse incident which also involved his dad. Albeit having problems with family life, Tristan is trying to step into the music industry as he regularly posts cover songs on his social media account, so it looks like that's the path he wishes to choose in life.
He sings real good.
Number 2. Diamond Dallas Page's daughter. Britney Page is most well known for appearing in DDP yoga workout videos alongside her dad, the legendary Hall of Famer Diamond Dallas Page. At one stage, she was rumored to be starting her own wrestling company with Brooke Hogan, but nothing substantial came from it.
We're basically starting a women's league, and it's going to kind of go against Impact Wrestling, TNA.
Yeah.
And so we're really excited about it. We got a couple surprises involved.
It's clear that Britney has a love for the wrestling industry, but this has never escalated into actual involvement in the business. She's certainly someone WWE could look towards bringing into the company, or maybe even AEW, as she's in great shape and has a great appearance, which is a perfect combination when starting out in the business. Number 3, Shawn Michaels.
And if I'm not mistaken, just about a few seconds ago, that she's also flexible, so don't mind me.
Shawn Michaels' son. Imagine the son of Shawn Michaels getting into the wrestling industry. Unfortunately, it's never happened. Cameron Cade Hickenbottom doesn't appear to have the desire to become a pro wrestler, which is a shame, as surely the son of arguably the greatest wrestler of all time would be well received in the company such as WWE. However, no doubt Cameron trying to deliver to the expectations of being Shawn Michaels' son is definitely an incredibly tough task, and one that would be almost impossible to deliver on. Number 4. Owen Harts Son. Since Owen Hart's tragic passing in 1999, there have been continuous problems between WWE and Owen's widow Martha Hart. Fans have been demanding Owen to go into the WWE Hall of Fame for several years, but Martha refuses to cooperate with the company. OG Edward Hart is Owen's son, and he also has a negative reception towards WWE and wrestling in general, which is of course completely understandable. OG doesn't share similarities to his dad, but even if he did want to give wrestling a try, it's probably doubtful that Martha Hart would give him her blessing to go forward with the career move.
You know,
Number
I
5,
don't
Ric
blame the
Flairs
family
Son.
though.
One of the highlights of the 2017 Hall of Fame was the induction of legendary wrestler Ravishing Rick Rude.
We would like to thank the WWE for giving my father the wonderful career he had and finally placing him amongst some of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Rude was inducted by his family members, amongst those was his son Ryan Rude, who delivered a fantastic and emotional speech and even cut a promo in the style of his late great dad.
So what I'm going to need right now is for all of you fat,
Out of shape,
overweight,
SummerSlam sweat hogs.
to keep the noise down so all the ladies can get what they came for tonight.
The promo was incredibly well received by fans and the wrestlers in the audience. There were even calls for WWE to sign Ryan to a developmental deal after hearing how impressive he was on the mic. Sadly, Ryan Rude has zero interest in becoming a professional wrestler and is perfectly happy in his current profession. Number 6. Bret Harts Son. The Harts are one of the most legendary wrestling families of all time. The most legendary Hart is Bret Hart, who was a multi-time world champion and was the face of the WWE for a number of years in the 90s. Most of Bret's kids never followed in their dad's footsteps and showed no interest in stepping into a wrestling ring, instead opting to go down different career paths. It's possibly only Blade Hart, who is 30 years old, who still has a potential to get involved in professional wrestling. However, judging from his social media posts, he has zero interest in pro wrestling other than showing support for his legendary dad, just like his older siblings. Number 7. Sting's children. Sting is one of the most gifted wrestlers of all time, managing to portray a traditional good-looking babyface as well as a menacing silent character who wore face paint was definitely no easy task. Fans never really got to know the man behind the face paint too well, as he was very private. But what we do know is that Sting has 3 children, 2 sons and 1 daughter. But what we do know is none of them have ever had an interest in getting involved in professional wrestling. One of Sting's sons, Garrett, attended university where he played college football as a running back. Sting's other son, Steven, was actually invited to try out for the Kansas City Chiefs following the 2015 NFL Draft. Number 8. Brock Lesnar's daughter.
Wait.
Brock Lesnar is one of the most
He had a
private
daughter?
wrestlers on the planet. He is notorious for not liking being in the public eye, so
Okay,
everything
that
that
I
goes on
did
behind
not
closed
know about
doors in
this.
terms of him
Holy
and his
shit.
family stays completely private. But what we do know about Lesnar is that he married former WWE superstar Sable in 2006, and they have 2 sons who were born in 2009 and
Really?
2010 respectively. Lesnar also has 2 other children with his former fiancée. Not much is known about one of the children, but what we do know is that the other child is called Maya Lin. Maya Lin is an 18-year-old who hasn't yet got involved in professional wrestling. She does, however, possess a passion for athletics, more specifically, shot
And she's
put.
18.
While much isn't known about Maya's admission into college, it is highly likely that she has received a scholarship for her athletic abilities.
18,
According
right.
to a social media post published by the official Twitter account of the Arizona State Sun Devils track and field and cross-country team, Maya is a Minnesota State champion and the 6th best shot putter in the United States. What an achievement! Number 9. Hulk Hogan's son. Now, a lot is known
boy.
about Hulk Hogan's personal life. This is thanks in part to him airing the majority of it on his reality show Hogan Knows Best in the mid-2000s. Now we know Brooke Hogan sadly didn't stay away from the wrestling business, as she made her WWE debut on the July 15th, 2006 episode of Saturday Night's Main Event, appearing with her dad for a segment involving Randy Orton. Orton came out and flirted with Brooke, then challenged Hogan to a match at the SummerSlam pay-per-view.
Which, by the
Later
way,
in the
that was the
parking lot,
biggest
Brooke got in
mistake.
their car and was unaware Orton would RKO Hogan. Brooke's next appearance would be in Impact Wrestling as GM of the Knockouts in 2012, a role that received universal negative reception. Hogan's other child though, Nick Hogan, has actually stayed away from the wrestling industry and has never been actively involved in wrestling other than a cameo here and there as on Raw and at Hogan's Hall of Fame induction in 2005. He instead has opted to go down the route of a reality television star and is currently pursuing a career in acting. Not only that, Nick Hogan is a current DJ and has also been involved in drift racing. And number 10, The Undertaker's Son. Following the acclaimed WWE Network series The Undertaker: The Last Ride, it is common knowledge that The Undertaker has a young daughter with his wife Michelle McCool. However, one of the things that the WWE fans don't know is that The Undertaker actually also has a son. The Undertaker was previously married to a woman named Cody Lynn, and they had a son together called Gunnar Vincent, who was born in 1993. There is a great documentary with Gunnar on YouTube that gives insights to Gunnar's life and what it's like growing up with a dad as legendary as The Undertaker. In the interview, Gunnar was asked if he ever had an interest in pursuing a career in professional wrestling. He stated, "I say as a kid, definitely. You see it so much and you're just thinking like, wow, how cool would that be? In my eyes, it was like being a superhero. As you get older, you get into your teenage years and you kind of want to be independent and find your own interest. So in my young adult life, I steered away from wrestling and tuned into when it was necessary." Gunnar is currently pursuing a career in video game design and even attended Full Sail University, but he admits he's never attended an NXT
That's not
taping.
bad choice.
Gunnar stated, "I went to Full Sail University and got my bachelor's as a video game artist. That's kind of a path I'm setting before myself. I'd like to, in the next 5 to 10 years, be an artist for a team in a production company for video games. Something I could put my 3D skills to good use and eventually my own indie company."
So that was Undertaker's kid, Gunnar. Wow. And he just looked like his old man. Hey, that's an awesome career he's pursuing. So nice. And you know, there are some other kids are actually pursuing other careers than wrestling business because, you know, as I said, it's not all jazz what it appears to be because, you know, when it comes to booking and doing a lot of traveling, bringing your own gear, and it's just a lot of work, a lot of preparations, because, as I said before, you will get hurt, because it can, because sometimes in the business, you get paid to do this, and you have to carry your own scars. That's just how things are. And Nick Hogan, I seriously doubt that he could get himself to being in WWE, which is I seriously doubt that. Brooke, yeah, no, I don't think so. But DDP's daughter, possible. I'm just saying. It's just wow, she is that flexible. So, yeah, if you think your kids have what it takes to fill in your shoes, well, you might want to give them the heart-to-heart talk about how things are. The business is that it's going to be a lot to do, but mostly it's a good example of just stay away. Well, that's all the time I have. So if you guys enjoyed this, let's leave it a like and also leave a comment down below. And by the way, we are currently at 1.83K. So we're getting a little close because we're only about 2 more down, and that leads to the 2K subscribes. So let's spread this word out and let's make it happen. And hopefully, before the end of the year, or say at least before the winter. Only one way to find out. But I'll catch y'all in the next video. So peace out, everyone. Good night and be safe.